Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! So, here's a fun fact. If you press any of the face buttons any number of times on the copyright screen, but only in the last few seconds, you get one of 8 different Sunsoft splash screens. This works in both versions of the game, but the copyright screen comes after the Sunsoft screen in the final version, so you have to get a game over to see the result. But in the beta version, depending on which splash screen you could get a different title music. Here we have the classic, The Merry-Go-Round Broke Down. Once again, this is absent from the final version of the game, which is weird because the song does get used for the game over screen, so they clearly had the rights to the song. Kinda wish they had used that, rather than just replace it with the world map music. Now, while we are on the subject of music, the beta version of the game has 80 sound effects and 56 songs. Comparatively, the final version of the game has 48 sound effects and 30 songs. And all 30 songs in the final version get used. Now, it's pretty clear that the beta version uses some more songs than the final version of the game, but I don't think it actually uses 56 songs. I think most of the extras are just unused. Maybe some of them were intended for some scrapped levels. And of course this means that there was a whole bunch of sound effects that got cut as well. And there's one cut sound effect that I want to bring some specific attention to. That is sound effect number 43. That is a falling sound that triggers when you fall from a great height. It does not exist in the final game. We're going to be hearing a lot of this sound effect today, though it's going to be drowned out by the music, which is appropriate because when we last left off, we were on our way to Atlantis. And the randomizer has some fun with the opening of this level. It could be tropical or Halloween. It could be sunny, rainy, or foggy. In this case, we got rainy Halloween. Wow, what are the odds? Alright, we'll go with this. Welcome to Atlantis. Atlantis welcomes careful divers. This fish is just scenery. Whee! Considering this is a Halloween game, definitely good to get the Halloween setting. Quite honestly, if I didn't get the Halloween setting, I would have re-rolled for it anyway. The rain is a bonus. So, got ourselves an auto-scrolling level here. Going to want to hop on the fish to get up to these mushrooms, which in the tropical setting are normally pine trees. Good idea to do some ducking here and there to avoid certain enemies, but definitely make sure to get these, because the flashing cupcakes in this level are going to get us some more 1-ups. This is not one of the 1-ups. Now, on the subject of music, this song basically gets used in the final version of the game as well, although the final version is simplified in a way. Oh, here's the bonus 1-ups. But the final version is simplified in a way, and, I don't know. Something about the beta version just sounds better to me. And then we get to this section, and, what in the world did Porky Pig dream up here? We'll come back to that. So, Atlantis. It is a water level. We got these, whatever these things are, that shoot stars at us. In easy mode, they don't. Movement, slow, unless you jump. You speed up when you jump. I'll be doing a lot of jumping. As for this thing, you jump on it and it spits bubbles. Thankfully, this is not a Sonic game. We don't need the bubbles to breathe, rather we need the bubbles to ride on. Thankfully, we can breathe underwater. This is a dream after all. I've actually had dreams like this, where I could breathe underwater. They were really fun. So, we are going to need to make our way over this mess in order to proceed forward. There's a heart here if we need it. If we continued riding the bubble up, we would have just encountered more fish to damage us. And I don't mean the little fish. Speaking of fish and enemies in general, none of the enemies here are actually from Looney Tunes. So, not gonna get a whole lot of Looney Tunes representation in this level. What we are going to get is a secret passage. This flashing cupcake introduces their existence, and this level has a bunch of them. And in fact, right here is a secret passage within a secret passage. We jump up into the smokestack, and we come into here, where we have two options, left and right. Left option brings us to a few 1-ups. And we could also get some more health if we need it. Definitely go in there before you grab the cupcake, because if you grab the cupcake first, you lose your progress in collecting the 8 cupcakes, and the cupcakes do not respawn. Ah. That gets me almost every time. Same with that one, actually. Need to kind of be on the lookout for them. There's one down there. There's a gap here. You could jump across the gap, but you can hear the sound of the next cupcake right down there. This is an entirely optional path, but we're going to go ahead and take it. As I said, we got a long path here, so if you wanted to kind of speed through this level, definitely stick with the upper path. Especially if you've already got 42 lives. Now, once again, let us talk about the music. Comparing the beta version with the final version, in this case, is actually really fascinating. It's like 2 different versions of the same song, with the final song kind of being more playful toward the end. Whereas this song is just peaceful. Oh, and in case you haven't noticed, the beta version of this song has some aquatic noises in the background. Those are very much absent in the final version of the game. So, I like both versions of the song, I will say that, but I think I'm going to give the edge to the beta version of this song. The aquatic ambience is nice, and the final song goes a bit too hard on the high notes. My floppy ears are like mouths that gobble up every sound that they hear, and the final song is overly sweetened. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and sneak in here, because there's a 1-up hidden in here. Yeah, this level's definitely gonna have a bunch of hidden secrets like that. And I spent quite a bit of time searching for them all, so, I hope you appreciate them. Okay, you know what? I'm keeping an eye out for anything that's gonna be falling down. Well, speaking of down, I'm gonna want a save state. Because the last batch of cupcakes is spread apart, and I don't want to miss any. And we get 3 1-ups as a prize. And this heart is here regardless. So that's the end of the ship section. Now we get into Atlantis proper. And the first thing I notice is Daffy Duck in the background there. Or a statue of him, anyway. Watch out for spikes. It's worth pointing out that Porky's hooves are not entirely covering his feet. so they will hurt. So this section of the level is quite the maze, actually. The exit to this section is somewhere up in the middle, but I'm definitely going to be doing some exploration here to get those secrets. In fact, there is a hidden batch of 1-ups if you proceed to the right from here. But there's actually multiple paths that lead to that 1-up, so I'm gonna kind of just find my way around. Don't you dare. Also, that is quite the statue of Daffy here. Honestly, statues like this are going to be the only real Looney Tunes reference in this level. Not even the upcoming boss is from Looney Tunes. And as far as I'm aware, none of the Looney Tunes ever actually visit Atlantis. Or at least not by the time this game released. This looks a little bit more threatening than it actually is. The fact you can jump up is handy. What happens if I hit the spikes from below? Exactly what you would expect to happen. It is an old video game after all. Alright, I would like up, please. Thank you. Oh, can't duck under you. Checkpoint is going to be handy. Don't know why I'm cutting my jumps short. It's not like these are spikes up here. This is just moss. The only thing that happens if you bump your head is you get a loud bumping noise. Oh boy. Another batch of flashing cupcakes. Oh hey! We got Porky! Kind of an older style of him, a little bit more short and chubby. Appropriate that both Porky and Daffy have statues here, considering how often they co-star with each other, including in an upcoming movie, by the way. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, I also noticed that there's a statue of Tweety up there. Now, the next cupcake is... Oh, right. The remaining 4 are in here. I had a heck of a time finding them. But your prize for collecting those cupcakes? 3 1-ups. That is a good prize, considering how hidden those cupcakes are. And speaking of things that are hidden... Another hidden path right here. Two hearts, which I needed, and another 1-up. And I'm not speeding up my movement in there, it's too tight. Over here is going to be that flower that shoots stars. And if we come this way, we can start making our way toward a bonus area with some 1-ups. Now, this is not the final way to get to that bonus area, but I just wanted to show how kind of difficult this section actually is. Because this is a ceiling that you can bump your head on. And especially dangerous right here. Try to speed along. Thankfully, your jumps are very forgiving. I'll tell you what, having a fruit basket full of throwable fruit would have been very helpful for that spot. Unfortunately, there's no more fruit baskets in the game. They only exist in levels 1 and 2 for some reason. And in fact, You remember in level 1 how there were some potions that made you float up in the air? Those exist only in level 1. Which is a shame, because there was some real potential with that. Like, maybe floating across a gap. Anyway, this is a secret passage right here, and I will say, this secret passage is kind of rude, because if you try to float up to the ceiling anywhere else, you will take damage the moment you get squished on the ceiling. Those bubbles are sturdy. But this is a case where you actually want to float on up. Anyway, from here we're back at the entrance to this map, and the only way to get back to where we were is to just go through all this all over again. Getting past that enemy is definitely difficult. Anyway, back here again. Checkpoint respawns, which is nice. Considering that when we enter this map, that counts as a checkpoint, so if we would have died, we would have been back where we spawned. So, let's talk about the ruins music real quick. In this case, the beta and final versions of this song are similar, but two very different vibes. The beta version sounds kind of like a fantastical voyage, especially during the xylophone portion, while the final version is more mysterious. As you probably can hear, the beta version also has ambient aquatic noises, whereas the final version does not. However, this time, I think I'm actually going to give the point to the final version. Because in the beta version, they kind of go ham on the xylophone. Random heart there. Yeah, there it is. Seriously, the first time I heard this sound, I thought it was a sound effect indicating that there was a special item hidden nearby. Anyway, let's go ahead and make our way back up again. This would be kind of annoying if you weren't actually trying to explore this level. I can definitely see you getting lost here. Granted, I wouldn't mind a shortcut back up from that other area. Got ya. Okay, so we are now on our way to the exit to this section. It is right across here, and this is just mean. I'm sorry, I have to call this out. This is bad enemy placement right here, especially without any throwable items. I mean, you can get through it if you're good, but I can see a lot of people taking damage there. And this drop right here is one way, so I hope that you got all the secrets that you wanted. And the exit is right up here. And we have found our way to the final segment of this level, and oh boy, this section is interesting. So I mentioned that I streamed this game over at Twitch back in 2020. This section took me a bit. I mean, there is a halfway point that you can use halfway along the way, and it's actually not too difficult to get to the exit from there. However, if you take these bubbles right here all the way to the top from the bottom, you get a reward. I did not think I was getting that. I am not going for the prizes. I don't want to lose my progress. Oh my gosh, am I actually going to first try this? I'm going to first try this. And there's our prize. 5 1-ups. And I'm going to pause just to point out that if I actually continued up, I would have actually gone straight to the boss. However, I don't want to go to the boss yet because there's actually more to explore. I'll go ahead and get some of the prizes that I missed first off. You cannot move the camera while you're falling, by the way. Only when you're standing still. Now, you might have noticed along the way up that there's some extra rooms along the way in the wall. Well, can't see one from down there, but certainly that one there. It took me a heck of a long time to figure out how to get into those rooms. Turns out it's another secret path. Hey, when I said that I was going to show you all the secrets in the game, I meant it. I'm up over 60 lives. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna kind of reset you if I can. I want to grab this before I fall down. And we're back at the bottom. And so we begin the climb again. Worth it! The bubbles are sometimes forgiving, sometimes not. If you happen to land on a platform before you land on the bubble starts passing right through you. And that is what got me a lot when I was playing this in 2020. And I'll just let those bubbles go and show you the easy path. Both paths lead to the boss. It's just a lot easier to get there from the midway point rather than all the way at the bottom. Well, I paid for that piece of cake. Were those 1,000 points worth it? Yeah. I mean, kinda. Oh, by the way, only 3 bubbles can spawn at a time. So I'll let them despawn and try this again. Wait, no. Wait, yes! Drat. I mean, hypothetically, the left path is easier. Seriously, my 2020 playthrough came from a time when I was lazy and didn't edit my streams. This climb was a situation where I edited my stream. Anyway, boss time. Oop. Well, missed that opportunity. Definitely glad that I got Stormy Halloween. Appropriate for the boss fight. Oh, as for who this boss is, this is Willie Great White, who, as I said, is not actually a Looney Tunes character. Oops. Though he kind of looks like he might have been from the era where Looney Tunes shorts were low budget. It kind of looks like from that era, but he's not. The best reasoning I can think of for Willie to be in this game is because Looney Tunes had a lot of sharks. but none of them wore ties. As for the music, it's basically the same in the final version of the game. Just, once again, a little bit simpler. Though in this case, I'm actually kind of leaning toward the final version being the better version. Meanwhile, we have a surprisingly peaceful victory theme. Rest in peace, Willie. We barely knew thee. Okay, I'm actually kind of proud about this episode. So, not so fun fact, the first 2 episodes took multiple attempts to record. Episode 1 took 2 attempts, episode 2 took 3 attempts. I was just not satisfied at all with my initial recordings. Part of the issue is just I had so many notes to go over, trying to focus on pre-planned commentary while platforming is difficult. This level was thankfully a lot more straightforward for me. I didn't need to cram this episode with information. In a way, it's actually kind of a good thing it wasn't full of Looney Tunes references. Anyway, with Atlantis done, next time we are going to go to the abandoned mines where, I don't know, I guess the Looney Tunes could have visited mines at some point.